Hello. Hello. Okay, so right now, as we can see, uh, price have created this trend line liquidity. So we can expect a bullish move or a bearish move. So we want price to, so we want price to sweep some kind of liquidity, so we can look for it in direction, in which direction price can continue. So here, okay, so right now, price is the momentum is to downside. The momentum is to the downside on US 30, and we have this order block which broke the internal structure to the downside, creating this order block. So let's see what price does. Then we can look for a sell side setup. Um like this is a change of pattern, because overall the structure here we can see price swept this liquidity, creating trend line liquidity. Again, this candle swept out this previous liquidity, broke the structure. Here price have mitigated this low, and we have this unmitigated order block and this trend line liquidity. So at least we can look for a move where price can tap this area, stop loss above this low, previous high, sorry, and this low will be our first target, and we'll look for a sell side setup. Please hit the like button. Let's look at gold now. Trump 50-50 chance of making deal with EU. Trump on deals by August. So I'll remove this. So let's do a fresh analysis. Right now on gold, as you can see, this candle swept out this previous lows. So we can look for a sell side setup on gold for today. Right now, let's go to 30 minutes. But this is not showing any, like, there is no inducement here. So let's wait for price to create a new structure. Right now, I think we can expect a bullish move from this order block. We want price to sweep all these lows. Right now, this is when gold goes to the upside, it will sweep this previous lows, creating a long wick. We want price to form a long wick, then only we'll confirm that it's a change of pattern and now price is going to the upside. If you see this is this type of candle we want. Here we can see this type of wick. Price should create this type of wick before going to the upside. Right now, it's creating more sell side liquidity. Like price can tap this sort of block. We have this trend line liquidity above this area. Like this is a scalping trade. If price breaks this previous low, this one. Okay. There is no mitigated order block over here. Like everything, every structure here is mitigated. So we can, like price can sweep this liquidity, upside liquidity, and then it can continue to the lower side. Then it can continue to the downside. But I'm waiting for price to create a change of pattern for buy side. Let's see how price. Okay, I think bullish move is coming. If this continues, then we can look for buy side setup right now. Here we can see there is no point selling here. For buy side, from here, we want price to sweep these lows, or it should at least sweep this previous low and then continue higher. On US oil, we have this setup. Price swept this previous lows. Like this was the low, which price swept, creating a new breakout structure, creating a trend line liquidity. So we have this order block and this imbalance. But here the imbalance is too big. So if price just fulfill this imbalance and breaks this previous structure, then also we can look for continuation trade to the upside. Uh, so on 30 seconds, we have this imbalance which is not mitigated. Like this is there is imbalance. Price is creating trend line liquidity. So by the momentum, we should look for buy side trade, like targeting this high liquidity here. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section. Okay, okay. We want price to close above the structure, then only we'll enter. Okay. Okay. After this break, I will look for buy. The candle should close above the structure. Here there is also another imbalance. On 1 minute, it should look like this. We have this previous candle. So right now we wanted price to close above the structure. This week, the logic was very simple because price we have this imbalance and this sort of block. And if price breaks this low, and here we can see this is the small wick. Okay. If this small wick breaks, it shows that this is a strong low on 1 second. Here we can see this is the wick which broke the structure. So if this breaks and candle closes above, it shows that price can continue higher. But right now, as we can see, price closed below the structure. If you go to 10 seconds, even 10-second candle did not went through this breakout structure. Again, I think we can expect a bullish move to the upside. Let's wait. Okay, USD JPY, we can see 4 hour. Yesterday, I was trying to sell over here because we had this previous high. And right now, we can see this candle induced creating a breaker block. Like this is the breaker block. This is the order block, new order block, which swept out previous lows here. And this is the breakout structure. So on 1 hour, we can see price can react from this 1 hour order block and continue to the upside. Right now, this is pullback. I don't think so. Price will like it will sweep this liquid and then it will continue. Yeah, I prefer lower time frame because it gives me more confirmation. Right now, if I just by looking at 1 minute, if I could have entered here, price would have hit my stop loss. And I knew because there is imbalance down here, price can react from this order block. So we have right now we have this order block and this breaker block. So this is the order block, this is order block, this is the breaker block. Price can tap this area and it can continue to the upside. On 5 minutes, we can this is the imbalance. This is the 1 minute order block. And this is the move which swept out this liquidity. So what we should do first before we trade, same important point. What we do first before we trade, you have to look for a higher time frame. Like what I do is I look at higher time frame. So on higher time frame, I know that price is going to the, like, here price was bearish and then price reacted from this order block. So we can expect a reaction from this order block. Like we don't know if price can continue or just it can sweep this liquidity and it can continue to the downside, right? So first I was looking for a sell side entry, but after that price did not react. Like on 1 minute here, I was using this zone because price induced this previous low and gave us a breakout structure, creating more liquidity. So this was a perfect setup. And this is the candle which tapped our entry. Like, and after this break on 1 minute or 30 minutes, I think, okay, this candle. This is the candle which tapped out of POI, like order block, but it failed to break this low. So we are just monitoring this trade right now. I'm not looking for entry, but I want you to understand this is, we have this trend line liquidity, price mitigated this area, this order block. Still, we have this trend line liquidity to the downside. We know that price eventually it will sweep all this liquidity, but for right now, it can tap this area and it should continue higher. If you haven't liked the stream, please like it. On US 30, you can see price sweep this liquidity here, but I was waiting for price to tap our this area, and then we could have looked for seller side entry. But right now, price is reacting from this order block. So we can expect a bullish move to the upside, like it should sweep this previous high. Let's see. If this breaks, then we can use this wick as POI. Please hit the like button and the subscribe. Like it will right now, I think price will just consolidate over here, creating small structure, and then one move will come which sweep all this liquidity, and then it will continue higher. Something like this. But if you're looking for scalping trades, then you can like what here you can like in this area you can look for scalping trades. If this breaks, then we can expect if this high breaks on gold, we can expect this imbalance to fulfill. This next imbalance, this one or this one. On Ethereum, we can see like if we remove all this here, price swept the liquidity, broke the structure. Like here, this candle closed above this structure, creating this breakout structure and this trend line liquidity. So price reacted from this area, and now this candle broke the structure. If you go to 30 minutes, we can see there is this order block, unmitigated order block. This one, 5 minute. Okay, this is the perfect order block because price swept this trend line liquidity, like equal lows, broke the structure. So we have this order block and this order block, but this one looks much cleaner than this. So we can use this as a buy side entry on Ethereum. The next will be the take profit in this case. And overall, our structure, like 4 hour and 1 hour structure, is also following. Like it's in the uptrend. Here we have this equal lows, lots of liquidity above this highs. It's just consolidating at this area. I don't think so. This will work now. It's creating more liquidity. If price consolidates in one area, probably that zone will fail or it will just sweep. So our direction was right, but we missed this entry. Let's wait for this entry now. So on which point we should take proper trade if I take on FVG? I don't use FVGs. I use order blocks to enter. So if you go to lower time frame in every trade, like here, if I just open this consolidation, you will see that price will eventually tap order block then imbalances. Okay, here we can see price taps the moment. Okay, it does not tap the order block, right? Because price does not know there is order block. Here we can see this up movement, price tap this up movement. Price did not tap this order block or this imbalance. So it just taps where price started to induce the previous structure. That's it. It does not tap order blocks. It does not tap imbalance. It just taps price. Just taps area where price induced any kind of structure. Here we can see there was imbalance, right? So there is this imbalance. There is this imbalance. There. If you go to lower time frame, you will find imbalance in every time frame, right? But the correct way to deal with this is just mark the area where price took out the liquidity. In this case, we can see this was the candle, but this candle induced previous candle, creating 2, 3 candles, and again price broke the structure. So we knew that from this point only something is fishy where price started to sweep this liquidity. Again, price came and tapped this area. So if you go to lower time frame, you will find happening this on every time frame. Right here, we can see price tapped. A lot of people, what they do is they try to mark this candle. Don't mark this candle. Always mark the candle which swept the previous liquidity. In this case, this one. So you'll know that if you're marking this order block and this order block, both are right. Because if this order block gets mitigated, it will probably become a trend line liquidity. And if this structure is mitigated, if this order block is mitigated, now this is liquidity. So now we have to understand is price will move from one liquidity to another. Like it will sweep one liquidity. Like here, price created this sell side liquidity. So price tapped this order block, and then it went and took out this liquidity. right now. So there was this imbalance. Just like I said, like if this order blocks and this structure is mitigated, it creates trend line liquidity, right? So price will sweep these lows, tap some kind of order block, and then it can continue high. And if this structure breaks here, this structure breaks, then we can expect a big move to the upside. So on 1 minute, we can see this is the candle which swept the previous lows. But it should not mitigate immediately. If this mitigates immediately, then probably it will create more liquidity. So it's just a consolation. Perfect order block is when price creates more imbalance and it does not fulfill the order block. In this case, we have this order block which is not fulfilled here. We don't want price to fulfill our order block. We want price to skip that order block. So that's a good movement, right? Here we see, here we can see price skipped this order block. It does not tap, right? Like for example, if price is going to the downside, okay, and then price sweep the liquidity, creating this order block, okay. Now we have this order block. You can use this order block to enter tomorrow, but for today, if price sweeps this previous low and creates a new structure, creates liquidity, now we have this two order blocks. First, like this is the first one, this is the second one. You can use this second one for your entry for today, like on for a intraday setup, and you can trade this move to the upside. After that, once it becomes trend line liquidity, then you can look for another setup over here.